The content of this podcast is provided for general informational purposes only and is not intended as, nor should it be considered a substitute for professional medical advice. Hello, this is Karen Nickel, family nurse practitioner, and you are listening to Itchy and Bitchy, a podcast that provides answers to your many unanswered health questions. Before I get started, I want to remind you about my course called The Perimenopause Answer. If you are going through this phase of life called perimenopause, or if you're not sure if you're in perimenopause, I would love to have the opportunity to talk to you about the course to see if it's the right fit for you. I have really enjoyed getting to know many of you, and I'm so grateful to you for listening to and for sharing the podcast. There is a link on our website, itchyandbitchy.com, and our Facebook page, IMB Podcast, where you can schedule an appointment for a Zoom call with me. I'm going to say it again. This is a Zoom call with me. It is not a webinar. So when you make an appointment, I will be sitting at my desk waiting for you to join the one-on-one Zoom call. So today I'm going to be talking about focus and how we can improve our focus and concentration. Most people forget things more readily as they age, and decreased concentration can accompany memory loss. Head or brain injuries such as a concussion, as well as certain mental health conditions, can also affect concentration. It's easy to become frustrated when you're trying to concentrate but just can't. This can lead to irritation and stress, which tends to make the ability to focus seem even more impossible. If that sounds familiar, keep listening because I'll be sharing methods, research-backed methods, to help improve your concentration. Let's start with doing brain training. This is something I do every day. I do most of the New York Times games every day. I don't complete Wordle, since that is the game my husband does every day, and we share a New York Times account, so I can't do Wordle. Enough of my home issues, though. The games I play include Connections, Letterboxd, Strands, and Spelling Bee. Other games you can try include Sudoku, crossword puzzles, chess, jigsaw puzzles, word searches or scrambles, memory games, and mixing them up is even better. In 2015, there was a study of more than 4,700 adults that showed that spending 15 minutes a day, 5 days a week, on brain training activities can improve concentration. Brain training games also can help develop your working and short-term memory, as well as your processing and problem-solving skills. It's a win-win all the way around. The older you are, the more important it is to exercise your brain. Here's something I haven't tried and frankly am not likely to try, just being honest. I'm talking about playing video games. Oh my gosh, I am really, really terrible at them. There are studies on the benefits of playing video games in older people. In 2017, a review of 100 studies was completed to specifically look at how video games could affect cognitive function. The review suggested that playing video games may lead to changes in the brain, including increased focus and attention. So, if you have video games and a way to play them sitting around the house, you may want to give that a whirl. Supplements are another thing that can help. Some supplements may help promote concentration and improve brain function. Supplements that people use include things like ginseng, ginkgo biloba, and omega-3 fatty acids. However, we can't say that all of these supplements are effective or safe for everyone. But while we were talking about supplements and focus, I have shared with you that Forrest, my son and producer of the podcast, is moving to Baltimore. Well, that happened this week, and his dad and I helped with the move. There were so many moving parts to this process, so it was very important that I stay focused and keep my stress levels down. Fortunately, I have been taking a, quote, mental performance shot from Magic Mind. I started it 7 days prior to this moving adventure, and taking it daily, it gets you focused, mentally clear, motivated, and productive while reducing stress. Man, did I need that, and Magic Mind provided it. If you're a coffee drinker like I am, this does not replace your coffee. Caffeinated coffee can cause a caffeine crash a couple hours after you drink it. Magic Mind supports your body's energy engine called ATP all day long, and I love that it's yummy tasting but not sweet. It comes in an adorable single portion bottle too. You know I am always talking about the importance of taking supplements that are third-party tested. Well, Magic Mind is 100% safe and undergoes third-party testing and has over 200 scientific studies behind every ingredient. You know that is my jam. It's made from the bioactive compounds in organically grown mushrooms and contains the highest grade matcha. That's green tea if you weren't sure. The technology behind Magic Mind makes it highly absorbable. Yay! Magic Mind is so confident in their product that they will refund 100%, no questions asked, for 100 days after buying. You have a limited offer you can use now that gets you up to 48% off your first subscription or 20% off one-time purchases with code ITCHY20 at checkout. You can claim it at https://magicmind.com/itchy. Okay, for all of you perimenopausal and menopausal listeners, you may not be happy with this recommendation because I know sleep often doesn't come easy in you people, but here it goes. Sleep deprivation can easily disrupt concentration, memory, and attention. Occasional sleep deprivation may not be too problematic, but regularly failing to get a good night's sleep can affect your mood and performance at work. I know many of you right now are thinking or even saying, duh, Karen. Being too tired can even slow down your reflexes and affect your ability to drive or do other daily tasks. I know it can be a difficult task for a lot of you, but many experts recommend that adults aim for getting 7 to 8 hours of sleep each night. In case you haven't heard these tips, although I'm sure you have, here are some of the ways you can improve your quality of sleep. Turn off the TV and put away screens an hour before bed. I know I'm guilty of not doing this, so I'm just admitting to that too. This is Karen's admission day, I guess. Keep your room at a comfortable but cool temperature. If you're perimenopausal and menopausal, you have tendency to be hot at night. Think about using cooling sheets or cooling pajamas to help with keeping comfortable. Wind down before bed with soft music, a warm bath, or a book. Go to bed and get up around the same time each day, even on weekends. I know we try to catch up on our sleep on weekends, but if you can keep a regular schedule, that helps. Exercise regularly, but try to avoid a heavy workout just before bed. It won't come as a surprise that I'm recommending the following tip. Another thing to do to help focus is to make time for exercise. Increased concentration is among the many benefits of regular exercise. Exercise benefits everyone, no matter what the age. In 2018, 116 fifth graders were studied, and evidence suggested that daily physical activity could help improve both concentration and attention just after 4 weeks. Other research that looked at older adults suggests that a year of moderate aerobic physical activity can help stop or even reverse memory loss that occurs with brain atrophy related to age. Doing what exercise you can is better than doing nothing at all. Sometimes it isn't possible to get the recommended amount of exercise, especially if you live with physical or mental health challenges. If it's hard to find time to exercise or you don't want to join a gym, try to think of fun ways to work it in throughout the day. If you get your heart rate up, you're exercising. Just ask yourself, can I walk the kids to school? Can I get up 20 minutes earlier and take a quick jog around the neighborhood? Can you walk to a task or an errand? Can you walk to the coffee shop instead of driving? Hopefully, a lot of us don't live near those things, but if you do, try walking instead of driving. If you can, try getting exercise right before you really need to focus or when taking a mental break. Personally, I exercise at home using the Peloton app. I think I've talked about this before. I don't have a bike, the Peloton bike. I just take different classes they offer. If you only have 20 minutes, they have classes that are short, and they even have a 10-minute class. So there are a lot of time options and class options if you want to use an app like Peloton. Another way to improve your focus is to enjoy time in nature. If you want to boost your concentration naturally, try to get outside every day, even for a short while. You might take a short walk through a park. Sitting in your garden or backyard can also help. Any natural environment has benefits. In Knoxville, we're fortunate in that we have an urban wilderness in the city limits. A short drive from our home, we can enjoy beautiful trails. I hope you have something similar. Meditation and mindfulness practices can offer multiple benefits. Improved concentration is only one of these. A review of 23 studies found evidence to suggest mindfulness training could help increase attention and focus. Mindfulness can also improve memory. Meditation doesn't just mean sitting silently with your eyes closed. To be honest with you, I'm not so good at that. Guided options like yoga and deep breathing can help put you in a meditative state. Taking a break from your work or project is also a way to stay focused. It sounds like a backwards approach, but experts say that taking a break from work, a project, or homework can increase your concentration. I know this happens to me, so I feel pretty sure it happens to you. You've spent a few hours on the same project, and then your attention starts to wander. Even though you are not focusing well on the task at hand, you force yourself to keep going. At least that's what I do. But at that point, the struggle to focus just increases feelings of stress and anxiety that occurs with the worry of not completing your work in time. If this sounds painfully familiar to you, the next time you feel your concentration dropping, take a short mental break. Go for a short walk, sit outside for a few minutes, or make yourself a nutritious snack like celery and hummus. Once you return to work, you'll likely feel more focused, motivated, or creative. After this quick break, I'll share more focus tips, so stay with me. So glad that you're back. If you are not easily distracted by music, consider turning on music while working or studying, because it may help increase your concentration. If you have been listening to this podcast since the beginning, you know that I made my living as an opera singer for 20 years before I became a nurse practitioner. With my background as a professional musician, I'm always highly aware of music that is playing around me, whether in a restaurant, store, elevator, whatever. So for me, music is a bit of a distraction, and that may be true for you as well. If listening to music while you work is not a good option for you, consider using nature sounds or white noise to mask background sounds. Based on research, doing this could help improve concentration and other brain functions. Some of you will be happy to hear this tip to help focus. Drink caffeine. You don't have to add caffeine to your diet if you prefer to avoid it, but research does show that your attention and focus can improve with caffeine. Consider a cup of coffee or green tea if your focus is going south. If you don't like caffeinated beverages, a serving of dark chocolate that is 70% cacao or higher will do the trick. Also, matcha, a type of green tea, not only improves cognitive function, but promotes relaxation as well. This is my favorite tip of all time. Avoid multitasking. Is that possible for women? Is it really? I'll have to find some statistics on the percentage of women in the U.S. who do not multitask. Bet that's a tiny number. It's our way to get a lot done, but some scientists have questioned this. These scientists, I don't know the gender of said scientists, have suggested that we are not as good at multitasking as we like to think we are. Researchers say the brain is not designed to cope with doing 2 or 3 or more things at once. What we are actually doing is switching from one task to another. As a result, we can't give our full attention to any of those tasks. So, if you give tackling one thing at a time a try, you might find you can concentrate better on each of them. Let me know how that goes. If these tips don't help, consider talking to your primary care provider or your therapist if you have one about the symptoms you're having. Something more significant than ordinary distractions could be affecting your ability to concentrate, even if you aren't aware of it. Some underlying causes of poor focus include ADHD, cognitive dysfunction or impairment like mild cognitive impairment, untreated mental health concerns such as depression or anxiety, concussions and other head injuries. Farsightedness and other vision problems can impact your focus. Distractions such as social media, phone calls, and a busy environment can affect your focus, as we all know. Insufficient sleep, as I mentioned before, alcohol consumption, medications, and other drugs can sometimes lead to brain fog. So you need to talk to your provider about the medications you're taking because some of them or one of them may cause some brain fog. And as many of you know, perimenopause or menopause can also cause a lot of focus and concentration problems, so getting those addressed is very important. Also, don't forget to check out Magic Mind to help with your focus. Go to magicmind.com/itchy and use code itchy20 to get discounts. You can also find the link in the show notes. Thank you for listening to and for sharing the podcast with others. Wherever you listen to this podcast, please leave a review and rate the podcast. Your reviews and ratings really matter. I encourage you to visit our Facebook page, IMB Podcast, where you can leave comments or questions for me. Our website is itchyandbitchy.com, where there are blogs with some of our subjects available for you to read. On the Facebook page and the website, we have the information about how to schedule an appointment with me, not a webinar, with me, so we can chat about how my perimenopause course can help you if you are going through this phase in life. As always, thanks to Forrest Wenzel, our producer and composer of our theme music, and the person who does all the behind-the-scenes work to make this podcast possible. Thank you, Forrest. As I mentioned earlier in the episode, Forrest has moved to Baltimore to attend the prestigious Peabody Music Conservatory, where he will begin his studies to receive a master's degree in music composition. I am so excited for and proud of him. He has kindly agreed to continue the podcast from Baltimore, so the Itchy and Bitchy podcast continues. Remember that your health is in your hands.